actually, I think like in April in 1 year.
And
so.
you were the guy with the idea, right? I mean, for
locally, yes.
Yeah.
I took it on as my thing to get going, and I felt it was an important issue. I feel there's a lot of important issues in our country right now, but I also feel like there's a few key ones where if we can overcome these problems, then the others become more manageable.
Yeah. Of course, the question is, will we ever get over this horrible divide we seem to have between left and right, Republican, Democrat? Although in the middle, in most Americans, I've seen polls, most Americans are still middle of the road.
Most of us, don't fit neatly into these nice little boxes they'd like to shove us in. On some issues, people would consider me a liberal. On others, I've had liberals tell me that I'm rather conservative. So it kind of just depends, and I think most people are like that. Some people will tell me they're conservative, and we start talking together, and I go, well, you're sounding an awful lot like a liberal to me.
Yes.
So.
Sadly, though, right now, even after the horrible circumstances, the horrible occurrences out in Tucson, the very next day, if not later in that day, people were getting on their conservative or liberal soapboxes, whichever you prefer, to lambaste the other side.
Yeah.
And the coffee party, though, has been around more than a year, nationally speaking.
Yes.
You told me it was formed by a woman.
Right. Annabelle Park.
And she has hundreds of thousands of people following her, I would hope, or not so much following her, but subscribing to the idea of we can talk about this, but let's talk about it in a civil manner.
Yes, well over 100,000 have signed the civility pledge, which is the real heart of the whole matter, where basically you just, like if I want to abbreviate it, I'll say you promise to act like your mama raised you. And but not to interrupt other people, not to call them names, not to treat people in a way that you would not be treated.
I think that by shouting, you're making your point.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. I can talk louder than you, so therefore I'm right.
Right. Kind of that right-of-way thing of I got the bigger car, so I get to go first.
Yes, exactly. Now, you've had several meetings on different topics around the area. You've got another one coming up next Saturday, and it deals with political campaign financing. Right.
Ever since the Supreme Court decision, the People United decision, the ability of corporations to flood campaigns with large sums of money it's a problem. It's an issue. And we were just talking about key issues. I think this is a key one also. Civility is a key issue, but so is campaign finance reform. And if we can get back control of the election process, some of the other problems may become more manageable.
I could see that. The idea that, we make jokes about the best Congress money can buy. Mm-hmm. And the old saw is, and I've heard any number of people, used to be journalists, just said this, but if you want to know what's going on, follow the money.
That's right.
And when you begin looking at legislation, even at the state level, and you say, well, why would they do something like that? Look who's going to profit from it, or look who's not going to lose any money on the deal.
That's exactly right. And it's important to say this is a bipartisan issue. This is not just Republicans. This is not just Democrats. No. If a business person or somebody with an interest can make a contribution and get what he wants, he doesn't care if there's an R or a D after that person's name.
Right. It is all about the dollars. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now a documentary's been put out. Mm-hmm. About Citizens United and the influence of campaign contributions on the process. You've got the documentary coming to you.
That's correct.
And it's going to be shown when and where?
At 4 o'clock on January 22nd at Trinity Lutheran Church, which is at the corner of Central and Blair. And it's open to everyone. We'll even be serving some food.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a good reason to come, if nothing else. And it's a short documentary also. I know a lot of people don't like real long. It's a 1-hour documentary. And it's just, in general, on the subject of money and politics.
And then people, of course, are welcome to express their opinions. There'll be a conversation afterward.
That's exactly an open mic period where people can talk, discuss, debate, all within the realm of civil discourse.